Hey Tim, how you doing? Here we go. So, let's get started with this project. All right, so I was able to go up there and install the um, RhinoGold 5 version. I'm not sure why it let me do that because they told me I wasn't going to be able to, but okay. Anyways, here we are. So we're in Matrix. I'm just simply going to do add a profile. And we're just going to keep this one. Let me just not make it quite so big. So we'll make it like, let's see, we'll go by, 8. And by 2.1. That's like a stellar band. So there you go. Now, I take that. I do a sweep. This guy. There's. I click OK. Now, I go in here. I simply go to curve. I want extract an isocurve. I'm going to select here. And then looking down, I'm going to mirror that. Which gets me there. Take this. Now I'm going to split using this curve and this curve. Okay. I'm going to take this surface, go to surface. I'm going to offset that surface. We're going to go in the opposite direction. We want to go down. I'm going to go in 0.45 millimeters. I hit OK. Enter. This surface here, I'm going to put on a different layer. I'm going to turn that layer off. There's my extracted surface. We're going to make it that layer color. Okay. Now I'm going to go up here to RhinoGold tools. So again, see, I have this toolbar inside of Matrix, RhinoGold, and I'm going to go over to Artistics, and right here is Texture 3D. Select this surface, and I'm going to click in that box. If you look here, this is the default of this texture. I want to go into the library, so I'm going to click here. Library comes up, and these are all different textures. The one I used for your project was this, RG015. Select that one. Now, we have an issue here though. This isn't going in the direction that I want. Actually, I think the U's, I think we are in the right direction. We just need more U's. So, here's your U's, here's your V's. So, under the U's, I can start clicking on this. And if you notice, it starts putting in all this detail here. I'm up to 7. I actually can't remember what I used for yours. I think it was like 15 to give us this real tight pattern. So this is giving you a preview of what this looks like. Okay. Now notice right here it says height. How tall do you want it to be? I only want it to be basically that 0.45. So I go ahead and put that in there. And when I'm ready to go, down here you see this little magnifying glass. It's flashing. So we want to say, okay, this is the preview. Let's take a look at that. So let's see what we got. And again, I'm leaving the resolution right at the default. Here you can see the percentage that's running right now. So we're just going to let that go and see where we're at. So in this particular case, I didn't even use T-spline surface at all. I can actually show you how to do that as well. I like the surfaces that T-Spline gives you because they're just really clean. You can always use things like curved network so you don't have multiple surfaces. There's a lot of like, for example, if you're going to use flow on surface kind of functions, that's where you want to use curved network in order to create a single surface. Otherwise, you'll have multiple ones, and it gives you this real funky thing. And T-Splines just actually helps you with all that. Okay, so here we go. So now, because I gave it the same thickness, here you go. Now we'll have to build like an inner surface in here, which is what I did for your ring. But see, that builds that right on top. We're at 0.45 millimeters in height. And I'm going to say, yeah, you know what? I really like that. Once I'm done, I either hit X to get out and it cancels everything, or I hit the check mark. Boom. Now it's going to create that surface for me. And it's a mesh. So we'll let it do its thing real quick. And let's see what we have. Okay, so there you go. Now, I'm going to go into plastic. I think because plastic lets you actually view it. So see, that thing's pretty darn good. Now, what I would do here is, I would take this right here. What I really want is this curve. Okay. And basically, I would drop that someplace down here. So let's just try it real quick. Let's see here. So we're going to go to, again, curve, extract an ISO curve. We'll leave it on red. I want to go... Yeah, because Rhino's having a hard time because this is the problem with these meshes, but it works. So I'm going to drop right down in here. Go into looking down. Mirror that one at 4. Okay, now, so I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to take this surface and see there's 2 of them here now. Because that's because all of the profile curves have seams on the very bottom, on the rail side of things. And that's why you have 2 surfaces here. Okay? So what I'm going to do is take this guy, I'm going to split it with him. Get rid of that. I can get rid of this curve now, I don't need it. Take this surface, split it with this guy, and I'm going to delete that. Oop. I'm going to delete just this section and then this curve. Take these these surfaces, we're going to join them. So there's one. Going into the side view here, I'll just take we'll use this guy. I'm going to go to the midpoint, somewhere like so. Now I'm going to do just a simple sweep 2. I don't have it on. Okay. Keep forgetting I haven't updated this computer yet, so I'll just do a sweep 2. We're going to use this edge, that curve. I get this, of course, a closed sweep, yes. Take this, join. Okay. We're going to change that color because we don't want that wild red. We can turn off the red now. I'm going to bring back, there's our texture. And when I'm all done, see what I'm looking at is, okay, make sure this is penetrating really well, which it is. It creates a background here at the corner or at this edge. I personally would do this. I'd go in here and I would fillet this. So I'd say I want this edge, and this edge. Oop. Let's do that again. I need to change the radius first. So I'm going to do 0.15, and I want this, 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 and this. Yeah, there we go. So there we go. So it's a nice, smooth, rounded edge. Then we'll bring our mesh back. See how that just transitions really nice? Then I would go to my tools up here, go down to my mesh repair, take this, and hit enter. And I have to hit it again, and okay, let's wait and see what it does. And this is pretty heavy, so it's gonna sit there and chug along. So here we are. It's moving along pretty good. So anyways, we'll sit and wait till that's all finished. As soon as that's done, then I can basically turn off those layer colors and see what the mesh repair tool does. But that way, that's all joined together as one singular mesh then. You can take that over to ZBrush and touch it up if you want. You know, even though you don't have the full-blown ZBrush, you could still go in with the Sculptress and go in and kind of, you know, add some more details to it or play with it, because it's one singular mesh. And this is where Travis's CCT tools come in handy, because you can go right from here and you can simply type in Zbrush Exporter if you have the CCT tools loaded, and then boom, it'll take you right over there. It'll Dynamesh it for you. If you choose to Dynamesh, you can Z-remesh it. Z-remesh gets a little tricky until you understand enough about it, but it builds a pure quad, gets rid of all the triangles. It'll drop out some of your detail if you're not careful. So that's why I said you kind of have to know what you're looking for there and why you're looking for it. So anyways, this is going to take a little bit, so I'm going to pause this just for a sec. Okay, Tim, so without having to mess with this, these extensions past here are causing the mesh to fail. But anyways, I would just simply make some adjustments to that so that the mesh would complete without closing this center part off. And that's kind of what's happening right now. But at least you get the idea of what you have to do. Anyways, Kev out. Talk to you later. Bye.